Thank you for tuning in to watch the sophomore presentation. First off, I want to make sure you know who your counselor is. So depending on your child's last name will determine who your child's counselor is for the next few years. Let's go ahead. I know we talked about this last year as a freshman, but let's go ahead and recover what all you can find on the Westwood Counseling website. So as we're going to be talking about things today, we have our ACC information is all going to be right here. If you're wanting to look ahead and see where students who graduate go, just kind of start exploring, getting curious, it's all going to be where our seniors are headed. Things in the future you'll eventually use, applying to college, test prep, and test dates. This presentation is going to be listed right here for you. And if you want to look ahead, you not only have freshman and sophomore grade level videos, but the junior and senior ones are here. Everything you're going to need for course selection is here. Again, things you're going to use senior year. And then this is a big one we're going to talk about today is career assessments and exploration. So if you're not sure what you're wanting to do after Westwood, which again, you're a sophomore, that's to be expected. There's a lot of really good tests you can take here. As the year goes on, this will be more summer programs, internships, camps you can do over the summer. If you're learning to learn more about GPA and rank, and then our mental health resources are all here. So this is going to be such an important hub for you for the next few years. Okay, so let's talk about rank and GPA. This is one I always like to touch on briefly every year because I know it can be confusing and I want to make sure you really understand. So our GPA is a 5.0 GPA scale. It is weighted. So if a student is taking all on-level courses and makes a 100 in everything, so being perfect, they would have a 100. That would make them have a 5.0 on the 5.0 scale. If your child takes all advanced, all AP, all IB, they can earn an additional 10 points. So if they make a 100, it's like them earning 110. So if you earned 110 in every advanced course and you only had advanced, your GPA would be 6.0 on the 5.0 scale. That is very hard to do. So this is where you really want to think about balance and stuff, because some families are like, oh, then we've got to take all advanced so we can give you the 10-point boost. But here's the thing. If you take all advanced and you're making 80s and 70s in them, and you're probably putting in lots of hours to get those 80s and 70s, it probably would have been smarter to take some on level and some advanced and make A's in everything, because that's actually would be better for your GPA. So you really kind of need to be smart about balancing your workload and trying to get all A's, whether it's on level or advanced. That's really what's going to help you more if you're really worried about getting a good GPA. And again, it's the average. So whether you take 4 advanced classes or 5 advanced or 6 advanced. Some people think, well, let's take 6 advanced courses every year. It's an average. So if you make a 104 classes, you're only getting a 400 divided by 4. Versus if you make 6 advanced hundreds, that would be 600 divided by 6. It's going to be the same. It's an average. Cannot stress that enough. Down below, we have our GPA handouts and our sample transcript that walks you through how to calculate your GPA if you want to see. So that's all really good and valuable information. And we covered this in 9th grade as well. But again, I just want you to bring it back to your attention in case last year was too much other stuff, you weren't really ready to grasp this. But just so you know, that is all here. Okay, and again, I always like to recover endorsement versus academy. An academy is an optional thing that if you take the 3 to 4 course sequence of an elective, so computer science, fashion design, graphic design, journalism, you will get a sash to wear at graduation. That's it. You get a colored sash to wear at graduation. Versus an endorsement is something that's required for graduation. Some people will be like, well, should I get 1? Should I get 2? It doesn't matter. Colleges don't care how many you get. They want to know you got at least 1 because they want to know you graduated high school. And without 1, you can't. But here's the thing. The multidisciplinary endorsement means you took your 4 core subjects all 4 years, which everybody has to do. So as long as you got 4 credits in your 4 core, everybody gets the multidisciplinary. So it's nothing to stress or worry about. If you take, 4 years of ROTC, that's going to give you an academy, but it's also going to give you the public service endorsement. So some things will double dip and get you a SASH and an endorsement, others won't. So for example, if you take 5 science classes, you only need to take 4, but if you take 5, that's going to get you the STEM endorsement. However, it will not get you the STEM academy because the sciences are not electives. So it really just depends. The worksheets here we covered last year kind of tells you the difference and spells them out. What are the academy pathways? What are the endorsement pathways? So here for you as well. Okay, this year there are STAR tests. So come April, your child will be sitting in some of these depending on the class they're in. To graduate high school, your student must pass the Algebra 1, English 1, English 2, Biology, and U.S. History. If your child took some of these last year and didn't pass, they will be retaking these in December this year. And if they passed everything last year, they'll be taking their new ones, for example, English 2. Some of you might be in U.S. History this year as a sophomore. So you could be you're taking at least English 2, but you might be taking U.S. History as well come April. So just know those are coming. Okay, I want to start just kind of tiptoeing into course selection for next year. January is when you pick your courses, but we want to give you time to think and process what you might want to be doing. So as a quick reminder, everybody needs their 4 core all 4 years. So 4 English, 4 math, 4 social studies, 4 science. Everybody's got to have 2 years of a foreign language. So Spanish 1, Spanish 2, German 1, German 2. It has to be the same language. Everybody needs 1 year of fine art, 1 year of a physical education class, and then 7 other courses. So these 7 courses might come from some of these categories. So if you do take a 5th math or a 5th science, those extra ones count towards the 7 elective total. If you go up to Spanish 3, the 3rd year would count to the elective total. If you're in football 4 years, the 1st year counts as your PE, the other 3 would go into the elective total. So it's very simple to get to that. So in total, if you do the math, that's 27 credits. You have 8 classes a year, so 8 times 4 is 32. So you have an extra 5 spots. And some of you might be coming to us with middle school, high school credits. So you might already have some as well from there. So kind of looking at the pathways, you have to have, your 4 years of English. So we are sitting as our sophomore year. So this is where we're really going to be deciding what are we going to take our junior year. We've got English 3 grade level. We've got AP English or IB English, depending if you're going the AP or IB route. Remember, for these courses, at the end of the year, you are going to be taking a test, and how you do on that test will determine if you get college credit. If you're interested in going into dual credit English, you must go through our mandatory ACC registration process, and seats are limited. But if you go through this, you'll be taking ACC English 3 during the school year here, taught by a Westwood teacher. And if you pass the class, so a 70 or better, you automatically earn your college credit. So there is not a test at the end like AP or IB. So if you have test anxiety, this might be a better option for you. But again, you must go through the ACC registration process, which has some mandatory meetings, passing the TSI. So there are some extra steps. And we've got parent meetings and student meetings to learn all about it. Or I showed you on the website where you can go to learn more as well. Then on-ramps English 3, this is going to be through UT Austin, taught by a Westwood teacher during the school day. It's pretty similar to dual credit English 3 through Austin Community College. It's just taught through UT Austin. So options there. Okay, math is very individualized. It depends on the math class you're in 10th grade year, and then you literally bump yourself over to the junior column. And there are some options, so some of them are very cut and paste. This is the class you take. Others will give you some options. So again, like if you're in geometry, you'd be looking at Algebra 2 or maybe on-ramps college algebra, which is through UT, like a UT dual credit program, just like English 3. So you can earn your college algebra and it satisfies your Algebra 2 requirement. So again, look at your 10th grade year, find your class, and move over to the 11th grade column. If you're in IB, your pathways could be a little different. So you're going to want to, again, look at where you're at in 10th grade and bump over to the 11th grade to find out what math class you would be if you're going into the IB program. Next is social studies. So everybody this year is in World Geography or AP Human Geography. Next year, your choices are going to be regular World History, AP World History, which again, you take a test at the end and could possibly earn college credit. Or if you're wanting to go into the IB program, you would take IB Prep US History or AP US History. AP US History covers double the information, but at the end of the year, you can take the AP test and hopefully earn your college credit so you don't have to take US History when you get to college, which is a required course in college. So you have two options here. I know some students start wanting to take, you'll see down here, US History the summer between 9th and 10th grade at ACC, which is fine. But just note, US History is the 11th grade social studies course. So if you take US History between 9th and 10th grade, you're still taking a social studies next year because World History is our course. If you want to wait and take it between 10th and 11th grade, then in 11th grade you won't have to take social studies. So just know, if you take US History over the summer, you won't get to sit out of a social studies until 11th grade. IB students do not get to take US History at ACC because that must be taken here in sophomore year. So that is a trade-off of something. So just letting you know. Science. Everybody is sitting in biology or advanced biology this year. You're going to be looking between three options next year. If biology was a struggle, we're probably going to be looking at IPC, which is integrated physics and chemistry, or regular chemistry, or advanced chemistry. Again, we have 5 different foreign language options for you to choose from. Fine arts, we've got lots of offerings, so you're definitely going to want to go through the choice sheet to see what is interesting to you. And again, you have to take 1 year of PE. Remember, you only have to take 1. So if you got these done in 9th grade, and you technically don't have to go on. Or you might be waiting till junior or senior year to take them. That's fine too. Just remember, you have to have 1 before you graduate. And the things that have stars mean they count for both. So you get kind of bonuses. You get fine art and PE credits. Then we have lots of academy electives for you to choose from. So to kind of go over the different pathways, again, if you started in a pathway in 9th grade, you're just going to look, there's your 10th grade option that you're sitting in now, and then you have the 11th grade option. If you started a year late, so maybe you didn't start debate 1 until 10th grade year, you would then be going into debate 2 as an 11th grader. So just kind of make sure you find the class you're in, and then you look at what the next year option is. And the great thing about this being a video is you can pause this to write down what you need for each different option, because there are lots of different pathways for you to choose from within all of our elective offerings here at Westwood. So again, find the class you're in, and then you'll move over to the right to know what's coming next. Again, on our counseling website where I showed you, and here's the direct link, you can find the Westwood Virtual Choice Sheet, the Round Rock ISD course catalogs. I really recommend the Westwood Virtual Choice Sheet because you can click on our courses and get course descriptions that were written by our teachers, so you know they're going to be accurate, versus the Round Rock ISD course catalog is very broad because it's meant to cover all campuses. So it's very basic, versus the Virtual Choice Sheet literally is very detailed. It tells you class structure and everything. So that's where I would recommend. And again, I've already said it once, but we want to make sure your schedule is balanced. You need to make things taking into consideration the time your electives, extracurriculars, advanced courseworks take. And then the other thing I would do is on your course selection is pick the 4 most challenging courses. If all of those appeared on Orange Day, could you handle it? And if the answer is no, then that's probably too difficult of a course load, because we cannot control what days your classes fall onto. So you need to make sure you could really handle your 4 hardest classes all in one day. Again, this is something we talked about in 9th grade, but again, we just want to make sure as a 10th grader you're really thinking about it, that you're working on building up your resume. You know, your resume, this is a downloadable option. We gave you a copy of it last year in your freshman 101, but again, you can click on this, download it. It's a Word document, and you can type over it and make it your own. But you're going to be listing not only your academics, but your extracurricular activities that are Westwood, non-Westwood, leadership, community service, any awards or honors, what are you doing in the summer, work experience. And this is really where you've got the next few years to start really being strategic in making sure you have things on your resume. And then again, I pointed this out on the counseling website, the career assessments and exploration. I would recommend everybody take one test from the 4 different sections. So there's interest-based, personality-based test, value-based test, and ability skill-based. I always say take one from each and then see what are the common careers or college majors that all of them have, because I think that really helps make it more authentic and what would be a good choice for you. Final reminders, especially this year, do not procrastinate. Make sure you're checking your grades in Hack daily. Make sure you're staying up on your student emails. I would check that multiple times every day. Ask your parents. I'm sure they check their work emails multiple times a day. That's something we just need to be in the habit, because we're sending out different opportunities and activities that you could be doing. But if you don't read your email, you could miss deadlines and everything. And then take advantage of what your teachers are offering you and ask for help, go to tutorials, flex in, do homework the day it's assigned. That way you have time to get help before it's due. And the last thing that's optional, but we highly encourage, if you're thinking you're wanting to go into IB next year for your junior year, from this point forward, there will be flex dates in November that you can flex into Miss Castro's pre-IB planning for sophomores. And that way she can go over a little bit more detailed IB information for course planning with you before January hits, because there is a lot to think about if you're joining the IB program. So that's it. But again, you're going to be talking to your counselor in the month of November. Then you can do this optional one, and then you're going to be talking to your counselor again in January to actually do course selection. This is really just to kind of get your brain going, that y'all can start having conversations at home to start thinking about what you might want to do next year. So hope this helps.